first stage of labour. It's sometimes not easy to tell if you are in labour or pre-labour. You may experience some period-type cramping or backache initially. You may have some nausea and vomiting and have pressure in your groin and pelvis. The definition of the first stage of labour is from the time of regular, rhythmical, painful contractions that are starting to open your cervix and ends when your cervix is 10 centimetres or fully dilated or opened up. The uterine muscles contract and retract, getting shorter, helping to direct baby down into the pelvis, and the baby's head puts pressure on the cervix. In the first stage of labour, the cervix also needs to thin out before it actively dilates. This is known as effacement. It's like sucking on a lifesaver lolly for an hour in your mouth. The lolly gets thinner and more open the longer it's there. The first stage of labour is the longest stage, taking anything from 8 to 12 hours, but it's less if it's not your first baby. If you are unsure if it is labour, you can call the birthing unit any time in the day or night and discuss what is happening with a midwife. We often speak to couples several times whilst they are at home prior to coming to hospital. We keep a record of all phone calls we receive and the advice we have given, so the midwives on the next shift are aware of your progress of labour at home. If your labour is slow when you come to hospital, it may be necessary to either break the waters, if they haven't already broken, or to increase the speed of contractions with an intravenous drip containing oxytocin. This is a synthetic hormone that will gradually increase the strength and frequency of contractions and help get you into established labour. If oxytocin is needed, we will also have continuous electronic fetal monitoring or CTG in place. If there are any complications of pregnancy such as diabetes or high blood pressure, continuous monitoring will also be commenced. This does not mean you cannot choose your birth position or use the shower or bath for your labour, as several of our monitors are cordless and waterproof, so you still have the freedom to move around and use water as you wish. In first stage, whether at home or in hospital, this is the time to try different techniques and positions in your labour. Some women prefer to lie down on their left side and remain there for their whole labour. Others prefer to be upright and moving about. It will take some time and practice of different positions to work out what suits you. Transition is the time between the end of the first stage of labour and the beginning of the second. Some women have a strong urge to push during transition, but it is important not to commence pushing until full dilatation or 10 centimetre is confirmed. If you begin to push against any remaining cervix, it may swell and take even longer to dilate. Breathing through the contractions helps greatly with resisting the urge to push. You will be guided through this by your obstetrician and the midwife caring for you. The time to come to hospital includes, firstly, if your contractions are 5 minutes apart, lasting 60 seconds, or if you have a history of quick labours. Also, if you need to have antibiotics during your labour and your waters break, or if you feel you need some pain relief for your labour. Remember, you can always call the birthing unit and discuss your labour progress with the midwives, who will guide you as to what to do or try next. Please always phone us before you leave home to come to the hospital so we know to expect you. Remember also to bring your antenatal card or book with you and a Wheatfield heat pack if you have one.